Good morning, Miss Bailey. Or should I say good afternoon? Hey, Matt. Um, you know, I have a lot to say, but I probably won't say a lot. I want to tell Miss Pam. I don't know if she's even in here. I haven't spoken to Miss Pam, but Pam, I just listened to your scope. And I wanted to share something with everyone. When all this took place and my children got involved by the Turners, I did what any other parent would do: protect them. Then it escalated. As of last week, and a lot of people don't know this, or week before last, there have been several phones in prison that turn up on this app with people that are incarcerated. Well, one of those people that had a phone was in my hometown. In the beginning of my career as a lawyer, I was a prosecutor. I put those people, some, behind bars. So it wasn't that that's not always a fear, because no doubt people know me and know who my family is and know who my children are here. But the fear became real, and I hope the Turners are listening to this. The fear became real when that happened, and it's so close to home because it only takes one of those people to be contacted with a phone behind bars. And believe it or not, they don't like the people that had anything to do with putting them there. Some of them that haven't repented, haven't asked for forgiveness, that are still angry. And I can't not take responsibility for being on social media myself, because I made that choice to do that. That was my choice. So I take responsibility for that. But what I want to tell everybody is this: when you go out and you say things and you say lies about people, you don't know how it possibly could be affecting their real life or their children, or possible harm to their children or their family. So I heard everybody, oh my God, and I said it. Yes, I have protection. But this is the issue. When I sat back and thought about it and prepared a federal lawsuit for reasons to protect my children, my family, what was that going to do? Who would I be if I only protected my children and my family? When there's a reason and there's an agreement that can be made to just stop, and those that are close to me, like Miss Pam or someone else that has probably gotten drug into a lot because of the things I have said, How does that help her? How does that help anybody else? It doesn't. So what you do, you become a person that's not selfish. We're taught that we protect others, we help others. That would have been extremely selfish of me, only to protect myself. When a much easier solution would have been exactly what happened. And by the way, I didn't even know it was going to happen. Matt, I appreciate you. I mean, I get on there last night just listening to go to bed, and it happens. But I strongly believe that that's a larger intervention than anything that we have control over. When things come together like that, and people realize there are children, there are families, words, whether or not it's freedom of speech or you think it's freedom of speech or whatever, it's time to not only protect your own, but protect others. And I really do hope the Turners listen, because you have to take responsibility for yourselves. Not all the time can you help someone else. I chose to do that, and I'm glad it worked out. But you have to take responsibility for your own. And it's not about protecting your own, taking to the streets to protect your own. Sometimes a simple, maybe I should humble myself, will protect your own. Maybe I should make some different decisions in my life that will protect my own and my family. You see, as parents, it's not all about us at all, at all. And what I will say is there is not one child that is born, and I truly believe this, that is born into this world that's not pure and innocent. And what happens? Environmental things. Parents have a lot to do with it. And children make mistakes. Children take after their parents. Some parents aren't perfect. But what you do is you help those that want to help themselves, and the children that are in situations that can't help themselves, there's other people around that will help them. Because no child, none, not one child should grow up without a chance. Not one. We're not a nation and a society that allows children to just be whatever. And I strongly encourage the Turners to take responsibility for their actions. There was a video made by Justin wherein he said horrific things, just flat out lied, made it up, that my father did horrific things to me. There's nothing I ever did to the Turners or their children to make somebody's mind go there and to make that kind of vile, sick, disgusting things up. And there's a part of me, it's like Judy. What if my children heard that? What if my children heard that? Would they come to me? Would they ask me, did granddaddy really, did that really happen? Mama, this was sent to me. Mama, I can't control what other people do and what other people say and what other sick minds say. But what I can control is to not play with the evil. That's how I can protect my children. Now, will that stop them? Probably not. They'll probably come out and do another video. And the day, if there is a day that my children have to come to me and ask me if all these horrific things that the Turners have lied about on my entire family have are true, then we'll have that conversation. They don't they won't think it's true. They'll wonder why this person would say these horrible things about their grandfather and about their mother. But I can't control that. I could. And when I began to draft a ton of legal things to handle this situation, it struck me. And my office calculated, because we have to do that, calculated the amount of time it was going to take me away from other things to put this in a budget. The average person on here does not have $250,000 to go out and pay a lawyer to get an injunction to sue someone for slander, first of all, that doesn't have anything. If I did that to protect myself, because I can't do it for everybody else, that would have been selfish. So what I did was, and I didn't do it, it just happened. But I had been struggling with what to do. Do I go that route? Do I not go that route? I can't help Pam. I can't help Jen. I can't help Gina. I can't help, the horrible things that have been said about Val. I can't help them. And then I prayed about it. And last night that happened. And my prayers were answered. I can't stop the Turners. I can't stop them from saying every vile thing that they want to say, but what I will say is this: an eye for an eye is not how our society works. And the words on this app have become no different than if someone, God forbid, were to shoot your family member. Our society doesn't allow you to just go hunt that person down and shoot them. You will end up in the same place they end up, a jail cell. Then you'll be no help to any of your other family members. So, this idea of an eye for an eye, and oh my God, you mentioned my child, so I'm going to do this to you. And I thought about what Val said too. There's no comparison, absolutely none. No comparison. And there's no excuse for it. And so, until the Turners decide that they want to educate their children, they want to be better parents, they don't want to blame everybody else for their actions, there's nothing anybody on this app can do. Nothing. Is it sad for children to be raised in that? Absolutely. But look, guys, there's thousands of children across this country that are raised in things just like that and way worse. And it's almost like a pick your battles, because in your hometown, there are plenty of things you can do to help children that are in that same kind of situation. You can't reach your arms across the country. And don't get me wrong, the things they said last night when I was sent the video of what was said about Matt and his children, I got just as sick as I got when McKenna made the video about a 9-year-old child. Just as sick. Not so much, Matt's a grown man and he's a father. But these adults, the Turners, they take no regard for the possibility of Matt's children to hear that. None. None. Two wrongs don't make a right. And the bottom line is we cannot control them. But what we do know is every time something is said, they go to the most evil, disgusting place in their mind that most of us, probably 95% of us, can't even fathom to say about someone else, much less their children. I listened to Judy Scope, and she's right. It's not just about her son. They targeted an entire community of the entire gay and lesbian community with the vile things that they said. And I will say this: where was the regard for that one child that got a hold of this app, that had been to school that day, that had been bullied because he's struggling with his sexuality, and because another child wanted to be mean and saw that balls video and sent that to that child? Do we even know if that child went in a closet and hung himself over that? We don't know. As adults, take responsibility for your words. And if they don't want to, and all this mess about what's going on in their hometown, I've said it before. I can't help it if they can't get along with their family. I certainly had nothing to do with it. I do know that they haven't been in school. She didn't know what grade he was supposed to be in. So, I can't help these things, but they have to take responsibility for putting their life on this app, as does everybody else, or sharing their lives with strangers that they met over the internet when you didn't know if they were just collecting information in a chat to do exactly what we've seen over and over and over again. Take responsibility for it. And the same goes both ways. They need to take responsibility for their family. It's not about defending your family, it's about knowing that your actions as an adult could possibly hurt your children. There is no difference than we all know as adults, we would never get in a vehicle after drinking alcohol and put our children in the vehicle, much less we drive ourselves. Then we go to jail. We're no help to our children. Well, what we have watched is they're on here every single day talking about defending their children, saying the exact same things they don't want somebody else to say, and then screaming victim. That's inserting their children. No different than getting in that car after drinking and driving and putting your children in a car seat. Same thing. Let me see. Right, Matt, and that was horrible. And I said it. You don't get to go. I mean, nobody would have a comment about their lives if they hadn't been on the internet for what we know of, just 3 years, putting every single thing about their lives on the internet. Yes, Judy's scope was point on. When you have to go to bed, and that's what, and Judy and I have had this conversation. Val, I have not talked to you, but when you have to go to bed every night, if there's a law enforcement officer, a prosecutor, somebody that deals with real criminals, real hardened criminals, um, you worry about them. I've had my children worry about me because they know the stories. They know the now they're old enough. I talk to them about my work. I talk to them about, look, you mess with somebody's child and they will come, just like we've seen on here. But nobody messed with their children. They're on here every day inserting their children. We don't even know, because they didn't even put it on here. We don't even know what happened at school. Oh, but we do know none of us said anything to school. And if it's a problem with their family in that hometown, common sense would tell you, stop talking about it on the internet. Stop making vile, disgusting videos about other people. And then when they respond, you bring your child back out again. It's not okay. The obituaries, the targeting of children, the what I heard Val say, the 60 people now. I mean, we all watched a public video. Again, it was put to public, of them questioning and hounding their own friends. Guys, that's sick. And until someone in that town steps in and does the right thing by their own children, there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, it is. Thank God you didn't hear it, Cincy B, because literally made me sick to my stomach. And the reason it made me sick to my stomach, not because, and I want everybody to understand this, I stand with children that have to go through rape kits, that have to go through these things. It wasn't that I thought something had happened to a child. That's not what made me sick. What made me sick was there are adults, Justin and NJ Turner, their mind can go there and even let it come off their lips, knowing it's not true. That's a mental illness that and I mean, I could say a ton about it. How do you love your own children when you can say that and lie about it with another child and another parent? Yes, I agree, Val. There is such a timeline, and I don't know if the mental illness is so deep that they actually think all these videos haven't been captured, and they are not responses. Well, Val, that's what I just said. What kind of man would ever say that about another man and his daughter? A very, very sick one. And that's the answer. And there are some sick people in this world. Very, very sick people. So anyway, makes you wonder. Well, it does. Kathy Bailey, it does. Because like I just said, 95% of the people, even on this disgusting app, their minds can't even go there. They can't. And I said that Lynn woman, I said that she, you know, I wanted her to make sure she understood that me and Shauna had nothing to do with CPS showing up at her house, and that was it. It was very unfair for her, and she wants to make fun. But when law enforcement is aware and they're aware that there are these phones with on this app in jails in my hometown, and people are on here accusing me of using CPS as a weapon, it's serious. When some of those people can get to me and my children very easily, and for somebody that lost their husband that was a law enforcement officer, and I told her that I'm sorry and thank you for his service. But what kind of unselfish person doesn't think about somebody else that could be in the same situation and even sit on an app with human beings that would say that about other people? Like the things they said about Matt and his children last night. And I thought about Judy and hers. She's got a daughter, a beautiful daughter that travels, that commutes in and out, and they know it. They've said it. And the things they said about that child is absolutely sick. And again, whose mind would even go there to take from their mind to their tongue and perpetrate in their mind such a disgusting, violent, criminal act on a beautiful young woman, which is exactly what they did. Folks, that's evil. We come in contact with evil every day. So I just wanted to say protect children, protect your own children. Realize what you say may affect your children. Because what we do know and what we have learned is there's evil amongst us. There's evil on this internet, but there's evil in our own communities. And another thing that we've learned, it's much easier to protect ourselves from the evil in our own communities than some evil, disgusting mind on this box. And Matt, I'll apologize to you. I'll apologize to you for all of humanity, because all it showed was that there are evil, evil, disgusting people. And I'm the same. How people choose to respond is their own business. I can't say it. I'm not a man. I don't know what I would do if that was said about my children. I don't know. It's not for me to judge. But what I will say is, to the Turners, what you have done and what you have said has done nothing but show that you are sick, disgusting, vile individuals that have evil minds, and your children deserve better. Last night she said if I inserted myself into her life, she would press charges. Press them. After I'm sitting here, all I'm telling you is you want to protect your family, it's time to shut your mouth. Because everybody is not going to take the higher road. And that's where the danger comes in for your child. You will one day cross the wrong person that believes the same as you and is not the bigger person. And you invite people to your front door and then scream victim. If those two individuals truly wanted to protect that child, they'd never say another word on this box, because of the things they've done and the things they've said to other people, targeted law enforcement, targeted children, targeted so many people. They should actually be grateful that me, Matt, Judy, Val, the whole list of 60, don't view the world like they do. But one day, they will come across someone that is just as evil as they are. And I'm happy to say and glad to say that none of these people that I have associated with on this box, including Jim Cropper, because apparently he knew when to stop, that we are not those evil individuals, guys. We live by rules, we live by boundaries, we live in a society that wants peace. But not everybody does. So if they really want to protect their children, they'd stop whining and using the same excuse over and over and over while they insert their child into this, and then run to law enforcement after they have put CPS in people's lives, put, stalked, harassed, done all the things they've done, plus said the vile things, and then want to claim victim. That is a type of evil that you don't even, you know, stay away from that evil. And you can't make somebody do it. I think we saw their own friends. When somebody calls him creepy, well, yeah, he's creepy. Look what he said in my look what he made up in his head that my father did to me. That's pretty creepy. It's no different if you had a neighbor, if you had somebody you knew was creepy. you knew was evil, you'd stay away. Yes, and that's right, Val. And that's all I've ever done. Do you think I would have had any idea that their child was not educated if they had to put the whole video on the internet and then want to scream, don't talk about my child's not your business? Well, you don't get it both ways. You don't get to scream, oh my God, he can't be educated. I'm suing the school board. I'm doing this. And we're all looking around going, wait, what? And she's blaming people that had absolutely nothing to do with it. She did that. Nobody else. Children deserve an education. Children deserve more than just being fed. I agree with you, Val. And what was odd is and I'll say this too. What is extremely odd about it, and I've had this conversation with other people outside this box. What is extremely odd about it is that there are two individuals with that personality, with those mental issues, with that deep hurt that they have propounded upon their children and put their children in this. What's odd is it's two of them, for two of them to be together, but they feed off each other. So I'm sure there will be a bunch of nasty, disgusting videos. Right, I agree, Val. But hopefully one day CPS will actually make it mandatory for them to. They'll either have to do it or not do it, and that'll be their choice. Because they say nobody can make us do anything. Well, when somebody's knocking at your door saying, we see mental illness here, we want you to take a psych eval, you have a choice to make. You can either do it and work to be better for your children, or you can refuse. And I'm not saying CPS this or that. That's for the people that know her in her hometown. Police can handle that. Other people can handle that. And I know that that's where my faith is for their children. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I can only work with the children that I have, that I am associated with. Right. Right. Two wrongs don't make a right. And I'm not here to judge how anybody handles it, but I will say that to go to that vile, evil, disgusting place that we have seen from them over and over and over again, there is a major, major mental illness. Or it's just evil. I don't know, but not for me to decide. So does anybody have anything they want to say? Hop on, because it's a beautiful afternoon. Right. And that's exactly right, Val. You can't. And I will say this, 95%, 99% of the people on this app, 99%, if they heard that said about their child, which didn't come from anybody but their own family, if they heard it said about their own child, their mind would never go to a place to hit a button, because they say they do all this over that, all of this over that, would go to a place to make a video like they made with about Matt and his children last night. And it's not the first time they've done it. They did it to Jim Cropper. Or the Twin Towers, or what they've done to Val, and they hurt the people. They had no regard for the fact that my children's grandfather was a veteran when they put that obituary. They skipped right over that part. All they were concerned about was to make sure they named every single minor child. Right, Dawn's daughter, who is a gorgeous young woman that has educated herself and done more than, you know, we could ever want as parents for our child. And that goes to her mother. I know, Matt. So, and I mean, I have disliked people, but I have never, ever wished somebody death. Ever. Somebody has never said words to me or made me so mad or even done something to me or my children or my family that I wished them death. That's the kind of person I am. The kind of person they are is exactly what we've heard. They have shown exactly who they are. Anybody that chooses to sit over there can do so. And if Joanne's out here, I would love for Joanne to come in here, because there is not one person that I have associated with Matt, Val, Pam, Shauna, anybody that would ever wish anything harmful to their child. Ever. Not even to them. But yet they lie. Say people want to plot and kill them. That's how sick and twisted. Can you imagine the fear in their child? Listening to them talk about somebody has plotted to murder them. So, Joanne, don't, I mean, I didn't hear her say one time in that video, maybe you should stop saying these things. Maybe you should stop doing these things if you want to protect your children. Because, like I said, there's not one person on here that I know. I say I know in the sense of internet, that I know that would hurt a child or that wishes a child harm. But what I've heard them say, they wish a lot of people death, rape, pedophilia, the nasty, the disgusting, the darkest of the dark evil is what they wish upon people. Right. Over and over and over again. If they have a problem with anybody talking about what their family spread on the internet, that is between them and their family. Nobody. Judy has not been involved with their school. I have not been involved with their school. Nobody has been involved with their school. I mean, I listened to the paranoia last night or yesterday afternoon when they were talking to the quote unquote 5 pack about a chat where me and Judy had a video about our Christmas trees. And apparently that was the subject of a bunch of paranoia in a chat. Folks, that's insane. I agree with you, Matt. If they want to protect their child, because I can't control what other people say, I can't control what you say. You're going to react. People are going to react to their vileness the way they react. I can only control me. But the thing that they don't comprehend, they do not comprehend, is they have messed with a whole group of people and said the most vile, disgusting lies. But none of these people are going to take it off this box. But the day they want to talk about protecting their child, the day that they do it to somebody that believes the same evil they believe, it's not going to work out well for them. So that's where I come from. If they truly wanted to protect their child or protect their family, we heard him yelling and screaming, "You protect your family." Well, where is he in all this? You protect your family. You tell your wife to sit down, worry about her child and his mental state and his education, and not the internet. Right. Like it's their responsibility to protect them from their words on the internet. Do you see how sick that is? Screaming at the child, "You protect your family." Well, maybe the child has more sense than he does. And he's like, "How about I just stay out of it?" Because I've seen it hasn't turned out very well for you. If, and I don't know, and I would say this to them, if they think that their child is traumatized, they need to get their child some help and be completely honest with the role that they've played in it. So, does anybody want to come on and have anything to say? Matt, I appreciate you last night, and again, protect your children, protect your children around you in the physical. This box is just that. Nobody has a responsibility to protect their children and protect their family more than the parents. And words on the internet are not going to protect your children. So I'm sure it'll be some more vile. I'm pressing charges. I'm whatever. Well, do what you got to do. You know, do whatever you think you need to do. But I'm here to tell you that's not protecting your family. Protecting your family would be to stop the continual harassment, literal stalking of files of people and their children. Because again, Val, Matt, Judy, Pam, I'm sure I'm leaving people out, but none of these people would hurt a child. But the Turners are hurting their own child. I mean, did they really expect to say that about Matt and his children, and for him not to personalities are personalities, for him not to hit the live button? I mean, of course he did. Why? So they can run to the police and say, "Oh my God, look at what he said. I told you that and they're going to say they are bullying my son." They'll leave out the part of what they did. So I'll say it again. Protecting your family is realizing when enough is enough. Will the Turners realize that? Probably not, because they're flat out mentally ill, evil, the lowest of the lowest for minds to go where their minds go. And yes, we can say maybe this is what's going on at their house, but we don't know. But look, stay away from the evil and you don't have to worry about it. Let the people in that hometown, let the police sort it out, let CPS sort it out, and let whatever happens, happens. I have it too, Matt. I recorded it. And I actually had to put it on silent to record it because I could not listen to it again. And Matt, you should be proud. You should be proud that I heard you say that your son's in college, your daughter's about to graduate. Just don't let I mean, because let me tell you something. If my mom had heard the video, I mean, my 80-year-old mother, if she had heard the video they did about what he said my father did to me, I don't know if I could have kept my mom out of the car. I mean, they know where to go, but it's lies, Miss Joanne, and there's no excuse for it. Miss Joanne, what you should be concerned about is whose mind would go there and then turn around and say, I have to do this to protect my family. Think about that, Miss Joanne. And think about all the children they have blasted across this pedo box. Think about all the vile things where their mind has gone when we all sat back and, it's the text starting that they start. Can you believe it? Well, every time we said, can you believe it? It got worse and worse and worse. I mean, their minds are in evil. Well, I'll say this and I'll say it again, and I don't care who likes it or doesn't like it. Anybody that sits there and enables that and says they understand it, their minds are just as disgusting and evil as the person that is saying it. Think about that. All right, if nobody wants to come up and chit chat for a second, Pam, I heard your video, and yes, you are correct. And I'm not saying anybody's right, wrong, or indifferent, and you know that I had been struggling with what's the right thing to do. But what I did know was the right thing to do was not to save myself and not just other people and let other people flounder. Hey, Miss Pam.
Hey.
And yeah, and I will say this because people aren't going to believe it. I haven't even talked to Pam. I sent her the video clip from Matt's last night, and what did it say, Pam?
The video clip from Manifest.
When I sent you what I had said.
Oh, right. Well, no, you asked that all the videos be taken down. Yeah.
No, but when I sent it to you, because I knew you were asleep.
Oh. Oh, I don't know. I
Well, no, what I said was,
oh,
no way I would have done it without you
I know.
and
I know.
others.
Oh, right, that part. Yeah. 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 No, I know. I know. I knew you weren't shook through. I know. I knew you were. No, I know that. It would have been the same I would have done for you. Uh-oh. Did I say something? Yeah, other people weren't as concerned, but we'll not
Hey,
discuss
no,
that, you know?
listen, I'm not. Let's not talk about that because
Yeah. Uh-uh.
people make their own choices, and it doesn't mean that they're good, bad, or indifferent. It just
No.
means at the time they do what they. But I will say this: I completely and totally supported Shauna in it,
Mm-hmm.
and she knows it, and so, and we've talked.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the timing was right, Matt. That was right, and it wasn't planned. And
I was taking a break.
yeah, she was taking a break. It
Yeah.
was hard for her.
Hard for me. Um, I was going to say something here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Uh, about the struggling. I know. Um, yes, you were struggling, and I didn't want to say to you, well, okay. No, I knew you were struggling. We were all struggling. Um, a lot of days, and a lot of mixed feelings, and a lot of pain. Um,
And the
you
struggle
know.
for me, and I want everybody to know it because I could have
Oh yeah.
easily. Pam knows it. I could have easily, but it would not have helped. It would have just been
Mm-mm.
me. That's
Mm-mm.
it.
No, every day we were bouncing off the walls. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. You do that, I'll do this. We'll figure out a way to do it all legally. Um, it, because you're right about one thing. We're not the kind of people, and the majority of us are not, that would go and conspire and think, okay, let me see how low can I go. There are people that can go low, no doubt about that. But we tried to stay within the boundaries of the law. What can we do legally? What would the court do? What will the police do? Will a DA listen to me? Will somebody find this? And I have a lot to discuss with Cropper before I guess I have to have a conversation with him.
Well,
I
if he's
want
around, he's welcome to come on here.
yeah.
I think all he wanted from what I heard him say was for you to just say it publicly.
Well, and I can't do that right now. I have other people to speak with. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's someone other than myself, and I want to talk about that. But anyway, is the
Matt,
only
if you
thing
want to
I
come on, you can
think
hit it again.
um, the only thing I think you may be wrong about, Karen, is that there isn't someone that's going to be willing to get in their car and go.
No, I
Um,
said there would be.
I mean, I think
Eventually, they're
there,
going to come across the wrong person.
well, or the right person is going to snap. I mean, you don't know. Yeah, I'm
No,
nearly
I
70
do
years
know.
old.
When I had to say, Pam, no, don't get in your car. No, 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 no.
My baby is 10 years old, and that bitch said she killed the dog.
I know.
That bitch. She'll burn in hell. She'll burn in hell.
Right, but
And
you
oh,
let.
where is Joanne? Joanne, did you make that call? Are you the one? You said you were going to make that call. Are you the one that made the call and brought those people to my daughter's home? You bitch. You know you're all going to burn in hell for what you've done to that little girl.
That's
She didn't
right.
kill a damn dog, and you knew damn well she didn't kill the dog, but you have disturbed their lives. Are you proud? Yeah, you're damn lucky. At this point today, I don't have gas money, believe me, because my heart is
No,
broken
you're
for
not
that
going to have
child.
gas money. Nobody's going to give Pam gas money. She doesn't have gas money. She's not going
No,
anywhere.
don't send me gas money.
She's
Wait,
not
what
going
Because you
happened,
know
Pam?
anywhere.
what? There's a difference when you can sit and you enrage people with a lie,
That's right.
and you know
Pam,
it's a
what
damn
happened?
lie. And the same thing for you, man. Same thing. When
Oh,
people just have no, no logic in their heads, when they don't, I say, personally, I think these people have a death wish. I
yeah,
think they want to die by cop suicide. I think they want to cop suicide. I think that they want to go out as martyrs for people like Joanne and the rest of them, that they want, so that for their legacy is going to be, oh, this sweet couple, they had two little boys, and these people just tormented them, and until the point that finally someone came and took it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Well,
what's going to happen.
but wait, the bigger issue is every time the police go to that home with the
Right.
mental illness that is going on there, they're
Right.
put in danger too.
Yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. It's just like, oh my God,
hey, Pam, Pam, what,
the
what?
whole spectrum of going to somebody's house when the person in the home has told you they have a gun. When
Hey, Pam, Pam, what happened to
people,
you when I came on here? You were saying something. I'm not sure what you were talking
about
about.
my granddaughter, Matt. She went live. She said that my granddaughter had killed a dog, and Joanne said she was going to follow up with, because she's all into animals, and the rage of these people and the comments about this little girl who was accused of killing a
All a
dog,
lie.
Um,
all the time. It was a lie. A lie.
That's right, Val. I agree. Every time those police officers go to that house after he makes
Sure.
comments about that about
Hmm.
an officer,
Hmm.
they are in danger
And
because
Val,
whose mind would go there about a police officer?
right. And Val, you know as well as I do, this is a small town. I think they have 6 or 8 officers, okay? Most are part time. Keep that in mind. But when that officer got to the scene, in a city like yours, in a city like yours, that if a police officer rolled up there, he wouldn't have, first of all, he wouldn't have gone alone to a domestic violence situation. First of all, he would have not went alone. You probably would have had 4 units, and they would have sat in their units until the other units, or they would have circled the block. But that's what happens here traditionally. You have 2 cars pull up, and then you got 4 more coming if it's a family situation, a domestic violence situation. But damn well that cop in our cities, everybody involved would have been cuffed and taken. Everybody, everybody
Yep.
would have
yeah,
been cuffed and taken before a judge, and
Right.
that would have handled it. Let the judge handle the charge. In this situation, you tell this guy was young. I would have said, by the voice of him,
Right. Hold
not
on.
even
I don't mean
40.
to interrupt
Yeah,
you, Pam, but exactly. Exactly,
yeah,
Val, because they protect themselves. So they arrest,
right,
even if it's disorderly conduct,
right,
take them to jail. It's a cooling off period, and then the judge decides.
right.
That's how it works.
It
And that's what domestic violence is. And
right,
that's what we saw on this app.
right. When you see people hitting somebody's car, um, when you hear the walls being banged or doors or furniture or whatever the hell was going on, I don't know.
yeah,
You know, um, there was so much trauma. There was so much anger. The best scenario for the judge would have been just like with any other DV situation. They'd have thrown them all into anger management, you know?
Yes.
Right.
And maybe, just maybe, the psychosis is going on there with a couple of them would have been handled properly by the court. But we don't have that chance because you got one little guy, one little officer that comes out there. Hell, he ain't going to get cuffs on one of them without the other one attacking him. You know that. And I don't think, that's the situation. That's
Yeah,
what I,
you think about this. If he had thrown, if he had done what officers in our cities would have done, if
yeah,
he had gotten, when Justin was yelling and out of control, if he had
yes,
gotten him, NJ would have jumped on him. There's no
sure.
doubt in my mind.
Or vice
Right.
versa.
Right.
And he's got no backup. He's there all by himself, and he's got to go home. He's got to go home to a family and kids too. And I, I can't say they would have harmed him, but odds are, as I mean, if you're killing the
Well,
door and killing, I
the
don't know,
reason you
the
say that is
car.
because we have heard his anger toward officers,
Right,
and he
right.
was out of control angry.
Right, out of control. There was no self control. And I don't, we talked about that, Karen. I don't know when I was ever that angry. I don't know if I ever had the kind of anger that, I've been angry. You know what I mean? When the officer, people need to understand this because they don't quite comprehend this. Hopefully, Val will back me up. When the officer arrives at the scene, okay, when he takes his oath is to protect and serve the public, okay? He will take a bullet for the perpetrator as much as he will take a bullet for the victim, okay?
Absolutely.
So when you put that police officer in the position that, he he's going to take a bullet for you, he's going to take a bullet for them. His job, his primary job of a good cop, I'm not talking about rogue cops because there aren't that many of them to even discuss, but a good cop